Okay, John, let's get this going. This is your watch. You wanna get this one serviced. It's definitely got some good things. The crystal is not in need of replacement. That's a replacement hard Lex. It's fine. Case is clean. If I remember correctly, the seals on this are fine. Hang on just 1 second. I mean, I can certainly look at them. That's no problem. Yeah, this wasn't tightened down because I looked at the evaluation here. Got some corrosion on it. Nothing major. I mean, oh gosh, Lord knows I've seen worse. It's running. Well, let's get into it. How about that? Some things, whenever I see, it's always sort of a crapshoot when you see a rework, something like this. It's had a lot of work done. No seals at all, and one of the springs is missing, and the other has been shortened. So it's going to need all seals, and this movement ring I would call junk because it's pretty well pitted. That's right there. That's the remains of what's left of the movement ring spring. When a watch has this much stuff that's been replaced, like the dial and the hands, it's typically, gosh darn it, that's typically because it got a lot of water inside and it suffered as a result. In fact, you can see, look at the rust staining on the underside of the dial ring right there. Let's see why that's fighting me. Let's pull that out of there. But yeah, that movement ring, that's a real indicator. What the heck is going on? Would you come out of there? Oh, and the movement ring, the dial ring is actually broken. Another, gosh darn it. I've got to come up with a new system. The heck is going on? Somebody was doing some kind of jackassery. What's that about? It's like they're, oh, well, because it's an aftermarket dial and there's no tab here to hold the chapter ring in place. Got it. Okay. Well, we'll have to address that. Did you like the way it looks, which is important, and you want to move forward? So let's move forward. Okay. So I'm gonna wanna. Yeah, you can see the inside of the chapter ring there has a couple more of those sticky pad things. Case isn't pitted. I mean, that's something, right? Okay. Well, we're going to get into it here. I want to advance this real quick. Yeah, that movement ring, that dial ring is destroyed. Switches over there. It goes like so. Okay. Okay, so we're going to have a few parts already that are going to need replacement, and that's okay. You know, it's kind of what we expected, and we'll go. Okay. Also, so there isn't any pitting on the ceiling surfaces, which is good, but there is, what's that sticky thing? But there is impacted corrosion and rust inside these threads, the case threads. You can see it right here, all the staining. It's not deadly, but what this is going to mean is I have to get in there with dental tools and clean this all out. So I have to, when I pull the whole case apart, I'm going to have to go over everything, and get all that stuff out of there. And I'm also going to have to use chemicals. I'm going to have to physically remove this, and I'm also going to have to use chemicals to neutralize all of that stuff. But that's what I'm going to do. I just realized I skipped a few steps, but that's okay. Here we are, pulling it apart, seeing how we're doing. It's the usual stuff. Feels pretty tight actually, but I'll check it some more. good winding bridge, I'd say, because we don't have the strikes along the edge of the chronograph bridge, which is nice. Okay, well, let's keep going. Nothing really super cool to report. The inside of the movement was surprisingly clean, but I guess I shouldn't say it's surprising because obviously the dial looked nice, but yeah, it looks pretty clean. Let's, some of the brass surfaces are hazy. There you go. Usual lower mainspring arbor wear. Yeah. Yeah, I guess so, because look, it's got some scratching around here of that tipping over. Oh, well, I mean, I'm not surprised. It's gonna do it anyway, but here we are, let's do it. So I just opened up your mainspring barrel, and I got a surprise. This is not a Seiko. Well, no. It is not a Seiko mainspring. Seiko mainsprings bridles look like this. Let me flip this over so we have the same orientation. This is a bad one I pulled out of the parts thing just to compare. I mean, it's possible it might be if this snapped off, but there's no piece of the mainspring in there, so this thing must have been, that's really weird. I don't think this is a Seiko mainspring. I don't know what that is, but I don't think it is. Wacky. So I'll be replacing the mainspring. Well, it has been a long day. This one had some twists and turns for me. The mainspring issue was one of many strange things that happened in this watch, but I had to replace more than a few serious parts on this thing. Whoever did the work on it was a crazy person. Hang on, I've got to take this out of frame real quick so I can do this correctly. We're dropping in the balance. We're going to see what happens. Oh, gosh, but it's been a long day. Oh, my goodness. There we blow. There it goes. See? Look at that. Always nice to see, right? Long day. Ooh, long day. Man, oh gosh darn it. Man, oh man. Just sort of twist after twist. I did determine that the mainspring was, in fact, Seiko. It had just broken the bridle off, and the person, whoever it was, had just reinstalled it. There was just, I don't know, it's just kind of a good amount of like hackery and jackassery, and I mean, nothing bad, but it's just like you push with these watches. If you push one thing, then something else moves, and it's like you got to go backwards and sort of. It's like combing out the nuts in hair. You know, your little daughter comes and she wants to get her hair brushed, and there's all this like one thing pushes another, and before you can get it to the point of where it needs to be. Come on, would you stop fighting me? God, that's what I get for trying to do this out of frame. Come here, would you stop fighting me? Anyway, it has been a long day. Much longer than I anticipated. I thought this was going to be pretty straightforward. But it wasn't. Okay, let's get now it's running with the chronograph stopped. Let's get it with the chronograph running. Looks good so far. I haven't demagged it. I haven't put numbers on it yet, but let me demag it and let's put numbers on it. Let me pause this for a second. Okay, here we are. First numbers are coming in. Huh, look at that. Absolutely no beat error. Wow, that's crazy. You don't see that very often. Okay, so it has been a long day, and I am really looking forward to clocking out. So I'm going to let this run in overnight, and then we'll see what the numbers look like tomorrow, and we will go from there. I think for initial numbers, that's not bad. I want to see where it goes. Yeah, some crazy repairs. Crazy repairs. I would have warped things, and I had jewels that I out of place, and I had some wacky stuff. Chip jewel. I had to go through all this crap, and then everything had to be respaced correctly, and okay, I think that should be about it for now. I'm gonna pull the plug and call it a night, and we'll pick it up tomorrow morning. Sounds good to me. Okay. Well, happy morning. Let's turn it on, and let's see what we got going on. Well, it's running. That's good news. Let's see what we see. Oh, it's steady. Hey, for overnight, man, look at that. Okay, that's a good starting point. Let's dig in. Well, I've got the dial and the hands are on, and we are still cruising along, which is, I mean, those are great numbers, especially for what I had to do with this movement. And this is only, that's probably at about 60, 70% power, something like that. Now, I've set this with a pretty light reset because I'm not sure how strong the tube on this hand is. So you're going to notice that it's a pretty light click. It's not a heavy boom reset because we want to protect this watch as much as we can. Well, I think that's fine. I'm going to let this run for a little bit, and then I'll recase it, and we'll go from there. Okay, John, so there we are. It's a great runner. And the nice thing is that it's a great runner. Now the movement is the way that it ought to be. Now, like I said, you just saw that. That's a slow reset. I can maybe stiffen that up a little, but I don't want to go too hard, because once we start getting into really gnarly, it'll just go whap, and I want to help protect because of the water that got inside and into the movement. Your chronograph wheel is fine. It always makes me nervous having water inside because it weakens components. I'm not saying that your chronograph wheel is weak. I just want to protect it. So again, you're going to see a slow return like that. I can make it a little snappier. In fact, I might. But you will note that the reset is dead center. When it came in, it actually was off slightly. It hadn't been set correctly. So now it snaps right to dead center. It's going to be a great runner. Well, no, it is a great runner. There's the dead mainspring with the broken thingy. Your barrel was junk. There's your dial ring and your movement ring. Those are the parts that got replaced. Oh, and your reduction, the reduction gear winding wheel thingy, the automatic winding. But that's it. Good to go. Good to go. It's going to be a great timekeeper. And that's what a watch is for. That's what a watch is supposed to be for. Right on. Okay. Thank you. Oh, I forgot. Sorry. Also, another part that was bad was your hour wheel. This right here, this is what the hour hand sits on. It got all jacked up when somebody was working on this thing. But it's better now. Okay, now we're done. Thank you again for your patience.